Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to implement Sign In with Google account button for your Swift mobile application. And if you're currently working on Sign Up and Sign In features, you might also be interested in how to implement Sign In with Facebook and Twitter account, how to implement password reset and email verification features, and how to do upload of user profile picture and update of user profile detail. If so, let me share with you that I have organized many of my videos into 2 video courses to teach you all about user sign-up and sign-in process using Parse Cloud Service and also using PHP and MySQL. Both video courses cover much more than user sign-up process. You will also learn how to implement left side navigation menu, for example, and even push notifications. So check out the links in the description to this video, because with those video courses, you will build your mobile application even faster. In this video, I'm going to show you how to integrate Google Sign In into your Swift mobile application. And we will start with following Google Guides. And you would want to open a Google page, which is developers.google.com identity sign-in/iOS. developers.google.com identity sign in iOS. Okay, and on this page, click on Get Started button. When page loads, we have an option whether we want to continue with Objective-C or Swift. We want to choose Swift. Okay, and the first instructions, Google demonstrates how to download and run a demonstration project which is called Sign In Example. We will not do this now, and I will scroll down all the way to step number 6, which is add sign in to your application. This is what we want to do. We want to add Google Sign In button into our own mobile application. And I'll click on this button, and that will take me to a new page. And before we begin, Google suggests that we download and install Xcode and CocoaPods. On my computer, I'm running Xcode 7. This is a pre-release. It's still not publicly released, but available for developers. So I'm going to use that, but Xcode 6 is fine. It will work. And Google strongly recommends us to use CocoaPods. So if you do not have pods installed on your computer, you want to do that. Of course, you can download and configure Sign-In SDK manually, which will download a zip file, and then you can unzip and integrate SDK into your application. But we will follow, in this video, we will follow Google installation instructions using CocoaPods. So if you do not have pods installed on your computer, just go to CocoaPods.org, and then follow these instructions to install, and it's very simple. What you need to do is to simply copy this line of code, sudo gem install CocoaPods, and run it in your command line, like so. For example, I will open a command line terminal here, and in the terminal window I will paste this line, sudo gem install. I pasted twice. Let me just run it again. Sudo gem install CocoaPods and hit enter. Then it will prompt you for your computer administrator password, and once you type it, it will start installation of CocoaPods on your computer. Okay, so I do have CocoaPods installed, and the installation is very quick. One gem is installed, it's done now. Now you can use CocoaPods and install Google Sign In button. So let's move on. Okay, the next step is for us to create a new Xcode project. So let me do that. I will go into my Xcode and create file new project. Let's just drag a new project here, and I will that's going to be iOS application, single view application. Next, and I will give it a name, my Google Sign In button example. And that's going to be, language is going to be Swift, and I'll click on next and hit on create. Okay, now my project is created, and the next step that I want to do is I want to navigate to the folder where this project is stored. So I will open my Finder, and I will go to that project, and I will open a terminal, and I will cd to the project location. So let me clear the screen. So if I list files, I'm now in the projects folder, and this is my Google sign in button example and the Xcode project in this folder. So now I will go back to my browser window, and what we are advised to do, what we need to do now, we need to run this command pod init in our terminal while we are in this folder. So I'll run pod init and hit enter. Okay, this is done. And the next step is for us open pod file created for your application and add the following: pod Google sign in. So let us copy this, and I will go back to my project. This is my project, and now I have it opened in Finder, my Google sign in button example, and here's the pod file that was just created by running this command pod init. So I will open this file with text editor, for example, and I will add this line into target, the first one, target, my Google sign in button example do, and in between of this lines do and end, I will paste pod Google sign in, and I will save this file and close it. Okay, now let's go back to our instructions. Now we need to run pod install. So I will go to my terminal again, and right after pod init here I will type pod install and hit enter. Okay, installation is done, and I will go back to my Finder window, and now I will need to close my Xcode project. Actually, here it is. So I need to close it and open it again, but this time I should not use Xcode project but Xcode workspace instead. So I'll select the workspace and double click on it. Okay, here it's starting, and notice that additionally to my application, to my project, I now have pods attached to my left side panel here. So almost done. Let's go back to our browser window and continue. So the next step for us is to get configuration file. Let's click on this get a configuration file blue button. Okay, here we need to provide our application name and application bundle ID. So let's give it a name, my Google sign in, and application bundle ID we can find in, let's go back to our application, select project. Now if we select targets, and under general folder we will have bundle identifier. We can select this bundle identifier, then switch back to our browser and paste it here. Okay, so this is our bundle identifier, and we can click on choose and configure services. Okay, and now we need to choose and configure services we want to use with Google application. And the first one is auto selected, so it's Google sign in. This is what we need exactly. So I will click enable sign in, and now it is enabled. And if I scroll down, it says continue to generate configuration files. I'll click on this button, and now it suggests me to download Google Service Info plist. I'll click on it, and it will download file. Okay, now I can go to my downloads. Okay, the file is downloaded now. So what I need to do now, I need to select this file. Here it is. Here is my downloads folder. I need to select the file and drag and drop it into my project. And destination copy items, if needed, needs to be checked. Click on finish. And this will add Google Service Info plist into our project. Let's go back to our browser and continue following the instructions. Now, the next step is for us, just continue adding sign in. Click on this button. So let's choose Swift instead of Objective-C, because for our application we use Swift. And scroll down a little bit. And the first step for us now is to add this line, import Google sign-in into our project bridging header file. There are two ways to add a bridging header file to your project, and I'm going to show you both of them. First is probably the simplest. You'll need to have any Objective-C project. For example, I have a test project created with my Xcode, and all I need to do is to take one of the implementation files here, for example, app delegate m file here from my Objective-C project, and drag and drop it to my Swift project. And click on finish button, and Xcode will ask me a question: would I like to create a bridging header file? And click on create blue button here, and this will create and add a bridging header file to your project. And the bridging header file has a signature of it has your project name, my Google sign-in button example dash bridging dash header h. And if you click on it, it will be almost empty, only comments here. Okay, so this is one way. Another way is for you to go to your project, select your project, then select targets, and then go into build settings, and under build settings type Swift compile. And that will find a Swift compiler code generation section, and you will have Objective-C bridging header here. So what you need to do, you need to double click. In your case, probably if you're creating bridging header file manually, this line will be empty. So you will need to type your project name, my Google sign-in button example in my case, slash, and then again project name dash bridging dash header .h. So if you type it, just make sure there is no typos. This is why I think the first way, by dragging and dropping one of the Objective-C files into your Swift project, is simplest, because you don't need to type and there is no way you can make a typo. Okay, otherwise, if you decide to create it manually, type it all, make sure you do not make a typo, and hit and click back here. So that should create an Objective-C bridging header file. Okay, now let's go back to our bridging header file. If I select it, it will be empty. And now let's go back to our installation guides. The next step that I need to do is I need to select the first line here, import Google sign-in, copy it, and switch back to my bridging header file, paste it here, and save. Okay, let's go back. Okay, and now the next step is to configure our application delegate file. And to do that, we need to copy this line. For some reason it overlaps, but we need to copy this protocol name, and then I'll go to app delegate Swift file and paste it. I'll put comma and paste it here. Google ID sign-in delegate. So now if I build it, all right, it won't build because I did not implement I did not implement functions that will make my app delegate to conform to this protocol. So let's go back to our instructions and configure a few more lines. So the first one now is to edit did finish launching with options. So all I need to do, I will simply copy this. I will simply copy everything that starts with initialize in. Oh, why does it jump? Oh, okay. Let's open in a new window and just copy it from here. Initialize, and then I'll go back to my app delegate file and we'll paste it here. Okay, now let's go back to our instructions, scroll down, and now we need to add one more function. Oh god, why is it doing this? Okay, I'll open it again in a new file, in a new window, and it's called application open URL. I will need this, and I'll paste it just below here. Save it. Let's go back to our instructions. The next function is called sign in. I have it right below here, so I'll just copy it and back to my Xcode project, paste it. Okay, doesn't like something. Okay, these variables are not used. It doesn't like println, so println will need to be changed into print only. So if I save now, looks like everything is okay. So let's go back to our browser, and last function, sign in. So I'll copy it and go back to my Xcode project and paste it here. Okay, sign in, did disconnect with user. Okay, so now let's go back to our browser, and we have pasted all of these functions. Now let's scroll down, and now is the time to add the sign in button itself. And before we do it, let's go back to our very first page. Let's click on home, and then let's click on get started. There are a few more steps that we need to do. Let's scroll again, skip this page, and all the way until number 6, next step, and click on add sign in to your application. Okay, so let's scroll down this page. Here is the button that took us away, get a configuration file. So if we click on that button, it will reload the page and it will take us to the create our application name. But let's go back. I'll click on back button. So if we scroll down, there are more steps that we need to do. Add the configuration file to our project. We did that. And what we need to do after, we need to add URL schemes to our project. And for that, we will need to go to our Xcode project and select project, select targets, and then select info. And then at the bottom here, we have URL types. So let's expand these URL types. And there's a plus button that we will need to use. But before we can use this plus button, let's go back to our Google Swift info file, Google Service info file, and we will copy reversed client ID value. We'll just double click here, copy this value, and then let's go back to our project. We'll select targets, I'll select info, expand URL types, click on plus button here, and then for the URL schemes, we will paste this value and hit enter. Okay, let's go back, and then we will need to use it again, but yeah, the step number 3, we'll need to use it again, the plus button, but we will need to copy our bundle ID this time, and it will look like this. We'll have the reversed, it's called reversed client ID, and we will have bundle ID here. So let's go back to our project, select project, select target, and then general, and copy this bundle identifier. I'll copy it, and then click on info again, URL types, plus button, and for the URL schemes, let's paste it. So that's our bundle identifier. Hit enter. And next steps, yes, now we can continue, proceed, and add the sign in button.